Hey guys, and welcome back to Amnesia Illuminated. Last time we went into the wine cellar and into the laboratory. We did discover, in fact, Wilhelm's unfortunate fate at the hands of his employer Alexander of Brennenberg. Only after 2 years of his employ, 1 year remained and he would have been a free man. We made the acid. We also saw and see here what happens when the shadow attempts to manifest and take Daniel. Though Daniel still survives yet, we now can go into the refinery, the Fabrica Illiquitoria. We have already removed the fleshy shadow stuff. I'm not really sure what to call it. The fleshy material, the organic material. We can now go into the refinery. We are now in a nice long dark tunnel. And we have another flashback.
It sure is dark in here.
Yes, and there's a good reason for it. But you can light the lamp now if you wish.
What's the reason? For the darkness, that is.
Stay close. Be careful not to stray.
What's the reason? Why is it so dark?
Pay attention, Daniel. It's important that you keep going straight and make sure not to stray.
Alexander evidently keeping secrets from poor Daniel here. Let's get a bit of oil on the go. We see here yet more rose petals and Daniel having another flashback into his past. We are still on the trail of Alexander to the inner sanctum through the refinery. And these are just kind of... These tunnels are pretty well maintained. I mean, these could very easily collapse. It's a shame it's so dark. But why is it dark down here? Why would... Alexander wish to keep it dark? What is that noise? Well, let us proceed and see what we find. My word. I just have to. We are actually going nuts. I do believe if we... Yeah. Look away for a moment, the creature indeed disappears. But I think we did take... Yes, we took a big sanity hit there. But that's fine. This area, I must admit, only has 2 bits of lore in it which to find. I just want to go through sort of how a player might explore this area. So this area here doesn't really offer anything except several good hiding spots, but we see yet more evidence of the shadow's presence here. In fact, why not? We've got 16 things. We can light a few of these, I think. It's quite dark in here, quite a lot darker than other areas, even like the archives. And then as the player would enter this area, we see, well, an obvious door here, and more doors over there. A player may enter here first, and find a candle which I'm going to light, because the speed I'm going to go through this game, I'm going to run out of oil lamp very fast. We find more stuff. I don't think there's anything behind these barrels. No, I'm totally wrong. There is a tinderbox. I believe there is a note on the desk. Oh wait, the note isn't on this desk. There are 2 notes in this area. I know this much, but just where they are is a bit of a mystery. That monster, it won't bother you again. In fact, actually, you have to work quite hard to convince that thing to bother you. There's one of the notes. There it is on this room. That monster actually won't chase you at all unless you chase it, essentially. If you just watch it and follow it to its exit, it doesn't do anything, as you saw there. So the game still has yet to threaten us, though it does in fact land some minor jump scares in us. Is this the shadow attempting to manifest and failing to do so? We shall see.
22nd of June, 1839. It's been more than a month since my last entry.
After the event inside the underground chamber in Algeria, Professor Herbert insisted I return to England. He said he didn't want to risk forfeiting the entire expedition lest I took a turn for the worse. An excessive decision, in retrospect. But I'm glad it turned out that way. I found my journal this morning in the haphazard collection of things brought home from Africa. Next to it lay the broken stone orb wrapped in cloth. I tried to assemble it, but couldn't. The pieces wouldn't fit together, as if they weren't from the same object. Could I have imagined it all? Was there ever a complete orb?
And here we learn that Daniel has gone back to London, and he has even brought the broken pieces of the orb that shattered upon touching it back with him. If we just have a quick look at these diary entries again. He says that the orb couldn't be put back together, despite trying to do so. I wonder what compelled him to put it back together. I guess just human curiosity would be enough of an explanation here, but I wonder if he was perhaps a bit more compelled in some way. Bearing in mind as well, so an orb, right? It's a sphere of possibly opaque, glassy material in this case, is what I imagine it to be. I imagine it to be like marble or black marble, kind of, thing, perhaps a bit transparent to a point. Imagine trying to put a sphere back together, quite a large sphere, like a football-sized sphere. It's not going to be easy if it's shattered into many, many pieces, because it'll be hard to make out the surface, although I imagine the surface is somewhat smoother than the broken shards, but not necessarily. So Daniel does have a hard challenge ahead of him in any case. Let's see what else did happen. Oh yes, Professor Herbert that sent him back specifically. Daniel didn't necessarily want to come back, but Professor Herbert sent him back. And otherwise, that's all we have learnt. Although Daniel is not certain if he ever did find the orb intact at all at this point, because, why not? Alright. Another room covered. Another room where something transpired. We've got more evidence of the shadow here. We've got some table arrangement pieces here taken over by the shadow as well. This room is left in quite a state. Perhaps the answer will be through this door. Oh no, it is blocked from the other side, of course. And we shall see if we go through here. We're now back into the room where we went over there. There's actually another tin box in here, right on the floor here, as if the game wasn't generous enough with them as it was. Suddenly it's been more generous. How's my oil? Look how fast the oil goes down. To another room where there's another tinder box. We've only got one bottle of oil in this level, as I recall. Oh man. There's nothing in here, but there is another note. The final of Daniel's diary entries in this room somewhere. I am losing sanity here. Let's pop a light. Any more tinder boxes? Yep. I've spent like 3 tinder boxes, but I found about 7 of them, so it's not really a problem. Somewhere around here is Daniel's final note. There it is. As if the monster would really... Oh man, Daniel's actually gone nuts. As I recall, nothing terribly bad happens apart from this continuous blurring effect. And even more sounds I heard. I don't think anything actually happens. However, one thing has happened. It's now harder to control. Let's see what Daniel has to say in his final diary entry of the area. Oh man, it's so hard to control. I shouldn't have gone completely insane, but I have. Oh well.
25th of June, 1839. I feel the need to continue this journal, even though it was intended for my journey to Africa. This must be something very important. I just know it. I've taken it upon myself to piece the orb back together, but it's been more difficult than one might think. The pieces are behaving strangely. They seem to change color, shape, and texture, but ever so slightly. Yesterday, I took careful measurements and notated any significant markings. Today, I confirmed my suspicions. They were changing. I was terrified and rushed off to see the finest geologist in London, Sir William Smith. I approached the subject with care and we discussed how rocks change form. He told me about the nature of glass, how it eventually collapses on itself, like ice slowly melting over the course of centuries. Smith eased my mind a bit, but I can't escape the feeling that these shards have otherworldly properties.
Indeed, Daniel... I should not have gone insane. This is going to be a problem. Indeed, Daniel is somehow, for some reason, compelled to continue. He felt the need... I feel the need to continue this journey, even though it was intended... this journal, even though it was intended for my journey to Africa. He feels the need to keep wanting to put the orb back together, to the point that he sought out expert help from someone who knows about rocks and stones. Of course, the orb is not a rock or a stone, necessarily. Well, not exactly. Perhaps Daniel is correct, it does have otherworldly properties. Well, it gave him a vision of impossible geometry, endless deserts, and what was the other one? I forget the other one. Either way, it gave him a vision, and he's still not quite convinced that it does in fact have otherworldly properties. I possibly should hold my lantern up a bit longer to try and get Daniel's sanity back, but man, this is gonna suck. It should go away in a moment. You'll see it'll go away. So now, because we went in there, this door opens for us, how kindly, and this hole in the wall is now even more obvious than it was before. It was pretty obvious before, I must admit. Conveniently, I was going to say conveniently, there's a torch in here. However, the Shadow's presence is here, or just was for a moment, which actually caused Daniel to go completely and utterly nuts. Now you might notice the insanity effects have actually gone. They have in fact. When Daniel goes completely insane, he'll just take a lie down for a moment, which makes him completely vulnerable to whatever's around. However, it will increase his sanity. Hey, look at this, it had a few drops of oil in it. It didn't really have that much in it, did it? Give us some more. No oil left. Oh well, at least this area has one light in it. So now there's a puzzle to solve here. The puzzle isn't that hard. So the first puzzle you can solve here, if you feel like it, is you can open this door. No real need to do so, but you can just do that if you want. It also informs you that you can in fact barricade doors quite easily with more tinder boxes. Look, even like this one, just to keep Daniel's sanity semi-high, even though it is it's quite low. In case you're not aware, the only way you can actually gain sanity is by either going completely insane, when your sanity will get buffed somewhat, or by solving puzzles. In fact, we are here now to solve a puzzle. Oh, the hatch is too heavy to be lifted by hand, even though it kind of mostly moves. So we follow the ropes, follow the ropes, follow the ropes. Oh, there's a turning handle here. Turn the handle. It's stuck. Something is clogging the crank. Something is clogging the crank and pulley contraption. Well, fortunately, we've already seen it. It's not that hard to find. Just get this down here. There we are. Stand on the barrel and just kind of grab this, and out it comes. We've broke the thing that clogged the contraption, that clogged the pulley. Here we go. Go on, around we go. The door is now open. Now, guys, it's very important that you pay close attention. Also, this, as you can see, is very much a point of no return for Daniel. There's no easy way back up. The shadow has been all over this place. And Daniel's sanity is going to get hit once again. A slight headache. Actually, no, it's going up. Oh yeah, because I solved that puzzle. That's right. So now we are in an even deeper tunnel inside Brennenburg Castle. However, we enter one of the more fascinating areas of the game. The Cellar Archives. This is a fun place, and I want you to pay careful attention to what happens after we immediately go through this door. You ready? He crashed through the surface. The dark Atlantic water smothered him as he struggled to make sense of the situation. It looks kind of dark. It looks kind of bad. It's not that bad, is it? There's nothing wrong here. It looks fine. It doesn't look that dangerous, does it? Let's just go and just progress. Oh. The shadow has struck with great anger? Question mark? Oh, I'm sure it's still fine. What could go wrong? What is that, of course? Oh, I love this section of the game. Probably one of my favorites. So what we have here now, so a lot of things just happened, right? We were dropped. Let's not look at that, actually. We came through this door over here in front of us, and we were in what seemed like a fairly normal corridor of Brennenburg Castle. However, upon taking a few steps forward, we black out, and we hear the sound of the shadow manifesting. And then suddenly, we are in a water-filled corridor that looks suspiciously familiar. We take a few more steps forward, and then some creature of... some creature that appears to be invisible, yet cannot reach us, is here. I love this. I love this. Now, I want to... the music as well, it follows you and everything. It is fantastic. I think you can jump over it if you're skilled enough, but actually I want to try and play this section in a way that upsets people. Let's see if I can do this. So, there is a way you can play this and upset people, upset viewers specifically, although I think it's going to be a bit tough because... oh, here we go. Can we... damn, hold on. Yeah, you can distract them by throwing objects into the water, you see. So if I take a book and like throw this guy over here, you'll want to go over there. So you can give yourself a bit of time by throwing books around the place. But actually, I don't want to be throwing books. I want to... okay. Let's play this like a regular player might. Oh, come on. Grab a book. I'm out of books to grab. I'm out of books to grab, guys. Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Just keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Daniel, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. I have to admit, it's stressing me out a bit, even though I know exactly what's going to happen. Right, so a regular player is most likely, in all honesty... oh, God. Come on, over this way. I'm here. I'm here. Is most likely... wait, can I see the object I need? There's an object I need. I'm not sure where it is. I'm actually not sure if there is one. Hold on, let's just hop back to here. I'll bring him over here, and then we can do a bit of a... we get over this far, over this side of the room, and we're like... oh, crap. Oh, crap. A regular player comes this far and is like... a heavy gate. And the game's like, yo, there's a heavy gate. This is the wrong one. Mementos. The gate is too heavy. There must be an opening mechanism. And for those of you who either haven't played this game before and have a keen eye, you will have already seen it. Uh-oh, the creature's coming. I love how the vision blurs when you see the creature coming. It is just a genius touch to it. No, it doesn't look like the object I need is actually... here. And look at this. Even now, even though I know sort of exactly how the mechanics of this creature work, I'm super inclined to stay out of the water. There is only one object in this section that's actually worth getting. There are no flint and tinders, or tinderboxes, sorry. The only item that's worth getting is the laudanum. And the laudanum, we already have some. It's used to heal bruises. We actually are injured slightly there. We probably should do something with that. We don't actually have to use the lantern at all in this area. If you don't want to. You don't actually need to at all. However, getting out of these rooms can be horrible. So, as a player that's exploring the level, would do, we locate these rooms and identify that. Oh god! Oh no, it's going to hit me. It is actually going to hit me now. No, you're not. No, you're not. And now I'm kind of stuck. Oh. Oh. It's going back in the room. Okay, I'm fine with that. Relocate that room and learn that it's useless, right? This is a horrible level design. I love it so much because it's so horrible. Oh crap, I need to get this thing quick. It's such a horrible level design, but I love it. When I say horrible, I mean horrible in a good way, right? To create the terror... Oh god, it's close to me. To create the terror this area is designed to create, it does so well. It's a tunnel with two rooms adjacent to it. It matches the architectural design of the rest of the castle perfectly, except the fact that it's filled with water and a horrible water monster. What I wanted to show you, but I don't think the right things are actually present in this level to do so. You can actually kill these guys if you find certain objects, but I haven't found any. I can't remember if there are actually any in this area, I'll admit. It is actually possible to kill these guys, I do believe. But for those of you who noticed earlier, the lever you need to pull is here, and as you might imagine, it's on a timer. I'm actually not going to mess about here, so what I'm going to do is grab this book, toss it over there, give the lever a good tug, and just kind of go. Stay out of the water as much as possible. Come on, Daniel, stay out of the water. Oh shit, I hit the corner of that. I am so dead. Daniel, stay out of the water, please. Now, we still can't dawdle. I have to admit, we still cannot dawdle. Because even though we are going to make it through this door, we are immediately havated by another one. The door should close behind us. We are now safe from that one, but we are now... Can we even see that one? No, I think it's given up entirely. We're now no longer safe from this one. Now, fortunately for us, there is meat. Let us again approach this from the perspective of a new player. Meat. I have to admit, the first time I played this, I was instantly inclined to throw the meat. Oh, there is actually a bottle of oil in here. Oh man, I completely missed that. Okay. The monsters are immediately inclined to go after the meat, and while they are consuming the meat, they will ignore you. Now there's plenty of meat around the place. There's not much to look at. I'm just going to wait for the creature to stop eating and then throw another one. Now the stressful thing here is this. Uh-oh, it's coming for me. It's coming for me. No, don't come for me. There's meat. Look, there's delicious meat. There's delicious meat all over the place. Go get the delicious meat. Are you scoffing it down? Okay, scoffing it down. Go. Turn the handle. Daniel. Go, Daniel. Go, Daniel. Oh, it's coming. Crouch under. Right, next section. Now, we have to keep hurrying, unfortunately. We're still in a stressful situation because the creature, I think, can actually get through there. But we can be a bit more calm now because we've only got this next area to go through. Again, there are no notes in this area. There are no notes in this area, but we have to find one specific object. I forget exactly where it is. Stay out of the water. I don't think it can actually get us anyway. Unless we dawdle too much. If we dawdle a lot, then yes, it will get us. We need to get... Oh yeah, this object here. Notice how I still want to keep out of the water. And I must admit, I know... Well, I'm pretty certain it can't get me in here. But I still feel the need to stay out of the water. This creates the player's permanent fear of water in this game. Notice how it still tries to get at me. It's locked with a simple lock. A simple lock indeed. Hollow needle. The door now opens. Our sanity is restored, and we actually get to keep the hollow needle. Now, the next section is no joke. I actually can't mess around in this next section. So there's going to be not too much talking, except for my continuous shouts of Daniel, run, Daniel, run. Because we just have to, as you might imagine, run. Something large brushed against his leg, and he felt himself being dragged along by the current of the beast. He pushed himself above the surface. Help, he cried as the ocean swallowed him again. A reference to the monsters, maybe. Run. Run. Okay, they've not attacked yet. I forgot that they didn't attack immediately, but the shadow now attacks. You have to work the doors. Oh, this door goes the other way. Work the doors, work the doors. It doesn't actually matter which way you go. You don't walk into a dead end. You have to go. Work the doors. You have to work the doors very carefully. You have to actually do the doors. If you don't close the doors, they will come after you. They will get you. So you have to work the doors. Daniel, work the doors. I love this section. You can see the shadow everywhere. There are piles of crap everywhere. I've actually done this section almost immaculately. Now, there is actually a fork in the road at some point. Daniel, run. Okay, back hold it. We made it. Oh, I love that section of the game. He felt himself being hoisted out of the ocean. The lacquered hull of the SS Hortatia glittered in the soothing, warm yellow light of a setting sun, and something else that I didn't quite get. And in fact, I have to test this just for my own, just to confirm this. It won't budge. The shadow has, well, perhaps the shadow has consumed the area behind, and we have made it now to the back hall. The music, the sound of the area is suddenly quite calming, and as we come up the stairs, we see quite a pleasant hall. A door opens ominously, suggesting, "Come this way, please. Come this way. Come hither." We do see a creepy fountain. I have to admit, this fountain is very creepy. There's like a centipede with an almost human face and wings and more wings and then legs. I have to admit, this is a pretty creepy hall, but very, very well lit. In fact, actually, we should loot this place before we move on. But I think this is where we will end it for today, guys. We managed to get through one of the more stressful areas of the game. I didn't notice any of the things with which I could attack the monsters, by the way. Also, there is the problem that if you do try and attack the monsters in that area, there are multiple of them, you can very easily die. But as I said, it is actually possible, apparently, I've never actually done it myself, to kill those guys. I perhaps should attempt that at some point. I must admit, the design of this room is very well done. Study, and one of the more favoured rooms, of course, up here, the guest room. This is really well lit up, so this would suggest that someone has been using this room recently, the fact how well lit up it is, you know? And then in this room we have, oh, there's no label on this. Well, there's no need to go too far into that corridor. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. We've learned that the Shadow is capable of doing drastic things. I mean, that hallway we started in, the cellar archives, it was, you know, it was okay. There was no water. It was perfectly fine. And then there was water, and the Shadow made it happen, one way or another, and also manifested those creatures. Perhaps those creatures are in a way part of the Shadow. Also, notice here, I just realised there are more red petals leading towards this door, perhaps suggesting this is the way forward. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've learned something about the game you didn't previously know. Probably not in this particular case, because there wasn't too much to look at, but I think next time we will learn far more. Thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye for now.